Welcome. I am so excited to see you guys here. If you would go ahead and take the code, or you can join via the QR code. I will also put this in the chat for you so that you can click on the link. But basically, so excited about the last session and the emphasis on personalized learning because that is so much what I want to talk about. And I see AI having so many great uses in that area. So this whole session is on like my trifecta of tools. I love Quizizz. I love SchoolAI, and I love Curipod. And that's what I hope to talk to you guys for a little bit about tonight. While you guys are getting in, I'm just going to do a super quick thanks. I would definitely like to give a huge shout out to our platinum sponsor, Swivel. They have done just a fantastic job with the conference, and it has been phenomenal. Our t-shirts are sponsored by Brisk, and that site is a must check out if you have not already. And our daily sponsor is Edgeway today. So I cannot wait to dive deeper into this with you a bit and learn how we can all transform our classrooms. So, and actually this time I am supposed to be here. So I'm not like accidentally in someone's session. So hopefully you guys all knew where you were coming, and I am going to go ahead and get started. This will stay up, the code throughout, so feel free if you have not gone in to join as you can. If you weren't in the last session, just a super quick bio. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it, but this is my 23rd year in education. I am a fully virtual teacher, so ed tech and the ability to harness learning in our classrooms holds a very near and dear space in my heart. So, if you are joining us, you should be able to see all of this on your screen as well. And if you are on X, I would encourage you to connect so that we can learn from one another. And I do need glitter and sparkles. Like there should be glitter bombs somewhere. I like that idea. So tonight, I just want to take a few gaming rules because, I'm assuming some of you guys are gamers here in the house. So I want to look at difficulty, varied approaches, teamwork, and feedback, and how those gaming scenarios can really fit into how we approach AI in our classroom. So the first one I want to look at is difficulty settings. Gaming rule 1, adjust the challenge to meet the player's skill level, because we are all at different levels. And the whole idea of personalized learning is to meet your students where they're at. And prior to AI, I think we have all loved the idea of personalized learning, but it is really hard to pull off when you teach 120 students. The introduction of AI into the school space has really just brought that front and center. And this one is not actually, I kind of snuck it in. It's not so much an AI one, but it is something Quizizz does that is just absolutely phenomenal. And I would be remiss not to talk about it. In Quizizz, you can tailor challenges to meet all skill levels of your students with something that they call, aptly, of course, accommodations. You can tailor it based on, does your student need extra time? So if you have students with IEPs, when you go in to start any quiz, you're going to see a list of accommodations. And over here, where you can see that I've kind of like tried to shade it out, this is where all your students are. So you can click beside each of the names for the students that would need more time. One thing that I use a lot in my room is I have a few students who the timer just absolutely freaks them out. Like they do really great, but if they have a timer, it just, it just sets them off. So I can go in and leave the timer for all of my other students who like that gamified approach. It keeps them on task, but I can disable it for just a few students that it really throws them off their game. And Quizizz has all different kinds, not just question settings. They have reading support, which we've talked a lot this conference about addressing and meeting the needs of ELL learners, and this is a great way to do it. So, moving right along, gaming rule 2, varied approaches. There's always more than one way to win the game. And I appreciate the music. Before I was able to get in, I actually got this really weird message on live stream just to, have a squirrel moment. And it was like, you can't get in. There's heavy traffic on the stream. And so I had to keep refreshing until I could get in. So I apologize for that. But gaming rule 2, your varied approaches, more than one way to win the game. So nobody teaches the same way every day. I mean, that would be boring for them and for you and for me and everybody. So we all like to accomplish the same goals, but we might do it in a lot of different ways. And Quizizz has so many ways you can do that. And guys, I say this a lot about Quizizz, and I truly mean it. They were not the first one on the AI scene. A lot of different groups came in before them and put out AI tools in education. And I was like, oh, Quizizz is one of my favorite. What's happening? What's coming? When Quizizz did introduce AI, they came in strong, y'all. They brought everything with them, and they have phenomenal stuff. So with Quizizz, you actually have what they call the AI creation space, and you can completely create content. You can use your own materials to use AI to enhance or to learn from your content, which is, as a 23-year veteran here, it's fantastic because I have so many resources that I know and I love and have used, and they still work. Why do I want to reinvent the wheel if they work? You don't have to. All you have to do is use Quizizz to give them a new twist. You can also create with YouTube, which is fantastic for especially, and I'm sure most content areas can say this, but in social studies, videos really bring so much to the content. It gives the students sort of a visual, for lack of a better word, that really helps them sort of internalize what's happening. And I love using the Create with YouTube. But Quizizz also has a really cool app for your phone and extension for the Chrome store. So I definitely want to highlight those two. I know Alana spent quite a bit of time on the first 3, so we're going to hit those a little bit quickly. And if you were unable to see her session on Tuesday, it is definitely a must watch. So I encourage you to check that out. So going with our little gaming theme, you can do complete quest creation with Quizizz. All you have to do is type in your standard is what I usually use. I find that I get, and we've heard this all week long, the better your prompt, the better you are able to get good, workable, usable stuff. And using my standard has been one of the ways in any of the platforms that I've really gotten good stuff. It really tailors it to the standards wording, and I've found that super helpful. Next, you can elevate your materials. So I don't know about you guys, but I feel like reading is not just in ELA. Reading is, everybody teaches reading, and we do a lot of reading in my class. And I love the ability in Quizizz to bring in a PDF from any of your favorite sources, News ELA, Scholastic, National Geographic, whatever you like to use, you can pop it right there in Quizizz, make it gamified, use Quizizz AI to pull the questions out of the reading comprehension, which is fantastic. However, you don't have to use their questions, or you can pick and choose. You can also reword their questions. So everybody's talking about the 80-20 rule, but I really like what Thomas Thompson was saying about the 50-50 rule. That's how I like to approach AI in my room. I like to see what AI comes up with, and then I like to fix it and tailor it to what I want and what I need. And Quizizz definitely gives you the ability to do that. YouTube, all you have to do, find any video that you want on YouTube. You're going to click up here in your little puzzle piece, go to your Quizizz extension, and in seconds, you literally have an entire set of questions for a video. So Quizizz, one of their new taglines, which I absolutely love, is plan in minutes, not in weekends. And the AI extensions and capabilities that are included in Quizizz now really, really cut down on planning time so that you can focus on your students and their needs, which is why we're all there in the first place. Now, this is another one that I really love. Y'all, I'm an Alabama girl and I teach in Georgia. I came over and suddenly Toma Chichi was a standard of mine. And I'm like, Toma who? Toma what? Okay, for those of you that don't know, he was instrumental in the settlement of Savannah. But one thing that I really like to do is use the Georgia Encyclopedia, and it is all online. All I have to do is pull it up, click my little Quizizz extension again. It's going to read everything there and give you questions based on that. And for an Alabama girl teaching Georgia history, these have been lifesavers. Now, this one is possibly my favorite one, but I'm going to have to apologize right up front because I'm having to use two different ones. You're not going to be able to hear the sound. I apologize for that, which is really sad because he has a really cool British accent. But I'll walk you through what's going on, and you guys just stick with me. Okay, look at this. Okay, this is John Neal. If you do not follow him and you are a Quizizz fan, I really, really think that you should. He is kind of like the Alon equivalent in the UK. And I saw this video and I was like, no way, this is amazing. So, of course, what do I have to do? I mean, I gotta try it, right? Like that's the next thing I gotta do. I want to see what happens. So we were out to dinner at the Curious Pig, which if you are ever in Peachtree City, Georgia, let me highly recommend it. They have amazing lobster empanadas, okay? And they also have this really good little cocktail too. But I grabbed my phone, okay? Nerd in me is like, let's try this out. Took a picture of the menu and boom, seconds, I had a quiz going over the price of this cocktail, the Peachtree Banger, which again, I would recommend that to go with your lobster empanadas. Excellent pairing. So, how does this work in your room? Okay, it's a cool party trick, right? Like, I thought it was the coolest thing, had to try it myself. You're not really going to do that in your classroom, but I know this isn't going to apply to a whole ton of you guys because we like ed tech, right? We're all about it. We've probably got all our stuff organized, color coordinated in our Google Drive. But I know that you guys have like teachers in your building that are like, oh no, I've been teaching this for 15 years and I have this worksheet. So I don't need anything else because I have this worksheet. Well, now they can snap a picture of that worksheet and make it way more engaging and get actionable data right through Quizizz. So that's how to turn your party trick into something that you can really use in your classroom. Now, I want to talk about gaming rule 3. We only have 4. So the next gaming rule is teamwork. Team games require collaborative efforts. In a classroom, we're all a team, right? I tell my students that all the time. And before we really get started talking about Quizizz, what if we, I don't know, give away a Quizizz subscription? Does that sound good? Anybody want a Quizizz subscription? I think it sounds good. Let's do that. Let's spin the wheel. This is another one of my very favorite things. And where we going? Terry. Terry, if you will send me a DM and I'm going to post that in the chat. That is where I am at X, Twitter, whatever you like to call it. Send me your email and a DM, and I will be happy to make sure that that happens for you. All right. So the next one I want to talk about in my trifecta of amazing tools that I love is SchoolAI. because you can really use this for teamwork. You've got your assistants and your sidekick. So you've got teamwork for your teachers and your students. You've got tools that can help you plan in minutes and spaces that can just do amazing things for your students. So, first off, here are all of the assistants. You have so many choices. You've got research, you've got some that can even help you with integration of technology, and they're very centered on what you may need. So personally, I'm going to tell you, co-teacher usually meets my needs. I even named her Rosie because I think that's a cool little name for her. And next, I want to talk about Sidekick. If you have not tried Sidekick, it is phenomenal. So the tools and the assistants are your team members, and then Sidekick is team members for your students. And every student deserves a sidekick, right? This, again, I teach virtually, guys. This is class schedules, okay? Check this out. Okay, everybody has homeroom at the same time, but then they're all going to different classes. If you check this out, we have connections. We have 2 a day. One is asynchronous. One, they actually go to a live meet. Some of them have skills, but not everyone has skills. And the afternoon teachers have office hours, but that's up to the student to schedule if they want them. Guys, when we get new students come in, they're like, what? This is a very difficult schedule. They get confused. Check this out. I want you guys to go play just a little bit. So on the next one, you can type in your name. It's going to take you to a space, and I'm going to show you what it looks like on my side. And I actually had our PE teacher play with it because I was like, okay, you guys are the ones that have the most difficult schedules. So what do you think about this? And you can ask it to read it to you in a different, or to give it to you in a different language to address your learners. You can type in about office hours, and it's going to give you a link that you can go straight to schedule office hours with your teachers. You can ask what time lunch is, but also, because I know some of you guys out there, you like to break things, right? So somebody type in something that is totally my math homework or something, and it's going to tell you no, because the sidekick is set up just to address schedule needs. And the really cool thing, when you are in your space, you can see exactly what your students are doing. We know that our PE teacher, she engaged with it. She did very well. I gave her good feedback about that. I was like, great job, Miss Staples. You can see who's just getting started. You know who hasn't signed in. So all of this is right here for you. When you click on it, because you get this little bit, she's doing well. She's clarified her details. But if you click on it, it's going to tell you in depth. You can see every interaction that student had with the bot. So there's no way that they're getting something by you, because you can look at everything. You know that Charlie's unsure where he's supposed to go. What time is lunch? We've got some hungry students. So we do actually have to end just a tiny bit early because I'm going to close out another session. So we're not done yet, but I am going to go ahead and move on, even though I would love to give you all a little more time to play in this. But I feel like it's okay to go ahead and move on, because y'all don't really need to learn the schedule anyway. Hopefully that shows you a couple of little interesting ways, though, that you could use it differently in your own classroom. So let's keep moving. You can also use all of these tools. One of my favorite things that they have recently done, this is one of the newest things that SchoolAI brought out, and I was here for it. Yes, is you can now put documents in there. So If you go to any of the tools that they have, you can even create your own too. There's like start from scratch one. You can upload PDFs. You can upload things from your drive so that you're not having to type in all of the information so that the bot knows the parameters. You can upload it right with a document. Also, you can't talk about SchoolAI and not talk about their spaces. They have incredible personal, there's no better way to personalize learning for your students than to create spaces. And it can be a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for, intimidating to create a space from scratch, but SchoolAI has done a phenomenal job of highlighting teachers who have created great spaces, and they have also recently integrated spaces by standard. So you can search and find spaces that fit specific standards that you're teaching. Now, this is my third tool. So wrapping up my trifecta here, we've got feedback because I mean, that's what we're all about, right? Like students learn best when they know what they've done well, what they didn't do well, what they need to improve. And like Amanda was talking about, taking the whole weekend to grade ELA assignments. I mean, that feedback now can be done like that. So I want to look at Curipod in order to do that. And if you guys are Curipod fans, I am so right there with you. And let me go ahead, pull this up, and I'm going to take you to your next slide. So with Curipod, I want to very quickly try to look at drawing, some mini tasks. Writing is basically mini tasks, only longer. So we're not going to look at those. We're going to try to focus on these first two so that I can make sure that I cover all of my bases. So Sketch and Submit. This is one of the newest things that Curipod has done, and I think this is an absolute game changer for them. You can now use whiteboards with your students to get AI feedback for drawings. So even the littles can now use Curipod to get effective feedback. We're also going to look a little bit at entry tickets, exit tickets, all of the different ways that they have to personalize feedback for students. I love the historical figure one. Hint, it doesn't have to be a historical figure. You can set it up like any figure. I set one up to talk like Ted Lasso, and it worked like a dream. So possibly the coolest thing that I think they have is the right feedback repeat, so that students get the practice after they see their feedback. Again, a little bit more than we'll have time to do, but I highly encourage you to give it a try if you haven't. But I see quite a few people in here I know have as much of a love of Curipod as I do. So this screen should take you straight to your pen, and let me put that up here for you guys so you can see it. If you'll type in this pen, it'll take you straight into your Curipod. And I think Larissa mentioned this in her session. This is what I always struggle with too, like the downtime when I'm supposed to be waiting. Like, oh, I feel like I need to fill the silence. All right. We will go ahead and jump in. So, the first thing, and I know I don't give you a ton of time, but see what you can do with it. If you are drawing the perfect retro gaming power up, what would it be? Rachel, the nicknames are literally my students' favorite part. Like, I have used Curipod as SEL too, because they make me pick out my favorite nickname, and then whomever's nickname I like the best gets a dojo point. And you would think that like they won something amazing, like a swivel mirror or something. And I'm just going to type this in just in case anybody didn't have time so that you can join if you would like. Oh, Chillian, I'm so glad you were able to hear it on your phone, because his British accent was so much better than me trying to tell you guys what was going on with my southern twang. Oh, Jolene, I hear you. Yes, I knew I saw some Curepod lovers in there. Aw, thank you, Terry. You're so sweet. But it does not match a British accent. I completely get that. Bye, Jillian. Thank you for joining. Now, ideally, you would probably want to check with your students about now to see if they needed more time. But I'm going to tell you guys, like, I can't sit here for another however long y'all would want, because I would definitely be talking. Like, silence is, it's a struggle for me. Silence is a big struggle for me. So we are going to go ahead and end it, but you always have the ability to add a little more time for your students right down here if you need it. I usually let them know when we're down to 10 seconds, just in case they're so engrossed they don't notice, which is amazing to find a tool like Curipod that does that for them. And then I'm just going to hit the give feedback, and hopefully you're going to see your, oh, look, oh, a Bitmoji queen. I love it. And you can pull those up, and look at this, guys. Look, all of this feedback from a 3-minute drawing. I mean, it would take you longer to write that for one student, and you've just now gotten it for your entire class. So, kudos. All right. Now, the next one, we're going to move right along. And I'm really curious because I have enjoyed this week so much and learned so many nuggets. And now I want to know what I can steal from you guys. So, what is your favorite thing that you have learned at the week of AI? And Laura said, this is where I wish I had a Canva timer so that there'd be some music. But you guys wouldn't hear it anyway because I'm on a different tab. And look at me filling the silence. While your students are working, you can always come down here, which I strongly encourage you to do, especially if you're like me and teach middle school. This is like a must have. You can open moderation so that you can see what they're doing in case there's somebody that you need to kick out. Not out of the game, but you can, make sure that their drawing or their response isn't seen. And it looks like most of us are done. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it. And let's give you guys some feedback. Oh, it looks like I did cut somebody off early. I'm sorry. All right, here. Ooh, this is cool. Learning accelerators. Ooh, very nice. All right, valuable concept. I love how it starts with a positive. Because, I mean, that's kind of how I teach. Like, I always think you need to hear something good first. Now, the next thing that I want to do is have you guys and tell me one more time. Hopefully, you got some good feedback from your AI, some things you could do to make your response a little bit better. Oh, Jolene, great idea about your iPad. Great use for that. I know since I'm virtual, I have like tons of screens, so I usually have moderation on one screen, and yeah, so awesome. All right, I will try this time not to cut somebody off. I apologize for that. All right. Oh, Terry, I like your answer. Larissa, I'm so glad you're not texting and driving because that is very dangerous. But I appreciate knowing that I am what you're listening to. Yes, Amanda, I will stop this right now. And here's what I want you guys to do, because this is the other thing that I think gives so much personalization and ownership to student learning is take a second, look at what everybody said, and give me the most relevant answer. I got a couple of votes in, and I just really appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that. I appreciate you being here with me tonight so much. It's been so fantastic to share and learn with you guys, and I am learning so much along with you. So let's go ahead and look at our winner. Our most relevant answer: using tools as a way to check. Very, very awesome. Now, I am going to go and close out stream 2. I appreciate you guys all being here with me, and I can't wait to see y'all in the next session.
Hello and welcome to the Premium AI Strategy Accelerator, the ultimate program for schools, colleges and universities and businesses that want to lead in the AI revolution. Before you apply, let me tell you how this program works. Who is this program for? We focus on helping a hand-picked team of 6 to 10 change makers in your organization. And this elite innovation squad will become your internal startup, pioneering AI-driven solutions that define your organization's future.